Are you making a move to Denver, Colorado, and you're asking yourself, what really is there to do?
There's nothing fun to do here.
Aside from skiing in Colorado? Well, I have compiled a list of about 15 different things to do that really isn't the most well-known or most talked about. All of them anyway. Some of them are a little bit popular, but let's get into it right now with 15 things you might not have considered of things that you can do here in Denver, Colorado.
Let's have fun.
The first one is called Confluence Park. Now, when you think of a park, you're gonna think of grassy, lawn, playground, slides. This is not that kind of park. What this is a very urban concrete park just along the river. It is Denver's most urban park, sitting at the edge of Lodo, which is lower downtown.
Hello, Denver!
You can take a stroll first through REI, which in and of itself is a field trip, but then you can just meander on down the hill to this little area where you can wade in the water. There's little puddles and little areas where kids can play in. You can get in a tube and just kind of tube around and just lazy it out over there. Get a paddleboard and you can paddleboard your way through some of the areas. There are kayaks there in the summer, so it's fun. It's even more fun just to go people watch if you don't want to get in the water. So what's really cool about it is the trail follows from Cherry Creek, so you could probably walk if you wanted to. I mean, you could walk if you wanted to, not probably, from Cherry Creek Mall all the way down to this Confluence Park, which is at the heart of Lodo, right there. So along the lines of parks, I want to share with you Bellevue Park. Bellevue Park is just a hidden little gem. It's nestled among a pretty busy area, and just down from a pretty large water park is this hidden park. And I'm not young, and I didn't know this existed until about 10 years ago, and I have lived here my entire life. What's really cool about Bellevue Park is that you have the opportunity to ride a little train. There's a little petting zoo. There's a little river that the kids can play in. So aside from an actual park where there's grassy areas, there's pavilions that you can rent, if you just walk all the way down, you'll find, like I said, the train and the little petting zoo. It is just cute and quaint and just an amazing way to spend an afternoon. If hanging out outside at parks really isn't your thing, then let's talk about some of the things to do in downtown. So downtown Denver has two great areas that I think you should absolutely visit: Larimer Square and Union Station. Inside Denver's most iconic building, Union Station, they have completely redeveloped and redesigned it. The train station was built in 1914. It now houses 10 chef-owned restaurants, several bars, sitting area, shops. I think there's an ice cream shop in there. It is just fantastic to go hang out and see this beauty. Inside also is a hotel called the Crawford Hotel. They have some pretty unique rooms if you wanted to rent a couple of rooms, or a room for a couple of nights. We've done that twice now just to get away at a staycation, for lack of better words, and it was just so enjoyable. It is also still an active train station, so you can watch the people coming and going and getting ready for trips, but also beware that there is some crime in the area, so just kind of watch yourself. In the winter, they have the ski train that goes up to Winter Park. So I always joke, I've lived in Denver, Colorado my entire life. I have never gone skiing, so I always joke that I'm a really great snow tuber.
This is a sledding hill where people sled.
So it's really fun to get on the train, take the shuttle over to Fraser Tubing Hill in Winter Park, or I guess just outside of Winter Park in Fraser, and tube for the day, then just get back on the train and come home at night. It's a great way to spend a winter afternoon if you're into snow sports or sitting in a tube, like me. From mid-May to October, I just learned this when I was doing a little bit of extra research about Union Station. They have a farmer's market outside in the concrete area just outside of Union Station. And so I definitely will go check that out this summer. So mid-May to mid-October, there is farmer's market. Larimer Square is just an 1 block radius that they've barricaded and is just beautifully lit with hanging lights over the street. There's a little outdoor bar that you can now purchase an alcoholic beverage from and just stroll. You have to stay within the confines of that Larimer Square, but There's restaurants there, there's bars, there's shops, same thing. You know, you probably wouldn't spend too terribly long there, but you have to go see it if you're coming here. While we're discussing downtown, let's talk about one of my new favorite spots, McGregor Square. This used to be a parking lot where we used to park our car when we would go downtown when I was much younger, and now it's been completely redesigned and named McGregor Square. And when you're on the outside of it, you have no idea the charm that they've created within the little courtyard of this McGregor Square. If you're a baseball lover, this is where you want to be during baseball games. They have a huge outdoor movie screen. I believe they have like movies in the park. They have concerts there. In the winter, they build a little ice rink there. There's some amazing restaurants. I'm really into lavender drinks, and so if you are too, there's a place called Tom's Bar that has an amazing lavender drink.
That's lavender. Terry loves lavender.
And then if you like Italian food, Carmine's is there. Chop House is the steakhouse that's always been there, which is why we used to park there. They used to have a bar called Sing Sing there, which is a dueling piano bar. My understanding is it's coming back. I'm not quite sure if it's still in the plans of coming back, but it's also a fun little place. It is considered downtown's playground. It is 17,000 square feet in just that little area of that square. I'm not sure if it's closing down, but Tattered Cover Bookstore is there. There's a Starbucks obviously there. There's a hotel there if you just want to stay there. You could walk to Union Station from there too. I mean, pretty much Denver's walkable. All in all, there's 12 restaurants and 5 retail areas in that little area called McGregor Square. So another new addition to downtown Denver is called the Milk Market and the Dairy Block. I have referenced this in other videos because it is just so special that you have to see it.
I have to see this.
So growing up, we were always told never to enter an alley, especially downtown Denver, but this is exactly where you want to be. The Dairy Block has been reformed from an alley behind the Milk Market. And the milk, it was named after Windsor Dairy, so that's where a dairy used to be in the early 1900s. The Milk Market is following one of Denver's newest trends, which is urban like food halls. And so there's little shops and food halls. I mean, you think a mall, but it's not really a mall. It's all these little shops and food joints, and you have to walk through it to be able to understand and just get what that feels like. The Milk Market is the front area, the shops, and the Dairy Block is the alley. So it's all the same, right? Milk and dairy. It's named after itself, but you definitely have to go down there. If you're walking around, you might miss it. The Milk Market hosts over 16 venues. I thought there was more. And the Dairy Block itself has 11 shops, and in the area there's 19 restaurants, 8 bars, along with yet another hotel, a 172-room hotel, which I'm not quite sure where that's at. I need to go back down there and explore a little bit more myself. So I do want to take a minute to let you know I am a licensed real estate broker here in the state of Colorado. I've been an agent for over 20 years, and I get so excited when my viewers, you, reach out to me to discuss your real estate needs along with other areas of interest in the Denver metro area. I'm here to answer all of your questions, so please feel free to reach out, call, text, or email. I'm here for you and your transition to Colorado. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so we're talking about urban food halls. So let's explore all the urban food halls that Denver, Colorado has to offer, because there's a lot. Once the first one opened, they just started sprouting all over town. There are so many to choose from. The first one is The Source in Rhino. Rhino is River North Arts District, which is a small district in downtown area. It is also a boutique hotel. I know, there's a trend here, right? An artesian market hall, which is kind of what they're calling it, the artesian market hall, rebuilt from an 1870s iron foundry. Another market is in Edgewater. Edgewater is closer to the mountains. As you can see here on the map, this is where Edgewater is located. You'll see Edgewater Public Market. So the other one along I-25, which is in Lower Highlands, another subsection of Denver, is Avanti. Avanti is really cool, has several levels, and then up on top is a patio or a deck that you can enjoy a beverage out and just kind of look at the city. Another one in Rhino is Zeppelin Station. This is one that I haven't been to. I've been next door to the wine bar, but I've never been to Zeppelin Station. Lastly, one of my very favorites is Stanley Marketplace. It's over 100,000 square feet in where old Stapleton used to be. Stapleton was our original airport. Now Stapleton has been renamed to Central Park. Within here is a James Beard final nominee chef restaurant. So it's definitely someplace to check out. These aren't just little food halls or food courts that you kind of consider. These are really spectacular areas to just walk around and stroll for an afternoon. Go for brunch, stay for a drink, and shop the shops. I mean, it's a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon for sure. Oh, that James Beard finalist restaurant is called Annette. I've not been there, but I definitely have to check it out too. Within Stanley, there are over 50 independently operated restaurants, shops, and bars. 50. So you really could just spend the day there. Okay, so every city has museums, right? So even here in Denver, we have the Children's Museum, we have the Natural Museum of History, we have Molly Brown House, which is in and of itself is a museum. We have the Art Museum, which is a stellar museum, let me tell you. But we also have the Forney Museum, which is cars, trains, automobiles, all from the early eras. So if you're into anything automotive, this would be the museum for you.
I have my people in planes, trains, and automobiles.
So aside from all the traditional museums, or a little bit, non-traditional, such as the Forney Museum, which probably is not, pretty typical for most areas, we have a new selfie museum. Yep, so if you like to take selfies, you too can go to the Selfie Museum here in Denver, which is the first of its kind, and take a selfie. Strike a pose. You'll find an array of themed sets to help you take the perfect selfie for any occasion. One of our newest museums that I can't wait to go to is the Museum of Illusions. What I hear is you enter thinking one way, and all of your thoughts are distorted when you come out, and your mind is blown and you think different afterwards. So there you go. 2 new museums, the Selfie Museum and the Museum of Illusions. Which one would you go to first? Speaking of museums, this isn't a typical or traditional museum. Dinosaur Ridge is an incredible way to experience seeing fossils, footprints, and more from the dinosaur era. It used to be where you could just park your car and walk up the street, but I think now they have it set where you have to pay to go up the street. I haven't been there for years, but let me tell you, it is really incredible just to see on the side of the mountain true fossils and almost entire dinosaurs and large footprints of where the dinosaurs walked all those hundreds of years ago. And it's just an experience of itself. All right, let's switch gears a little bit to food and drink. So, where to have food and drink and explore history all at the same time. One of my recommendations would be to have high tea at the Brown Palace. I know that sounds highfalutin, which kind of is, but if you're here during the Christmas time, it is marvelous. I go every year, but let me tell you a secret. I have it in my calendar in June to call when it opens because the Christmas time fills up fast. But it's glorious and it's beautiful, and the beauty of the hotel of itself is just magical. You can go anytime and just explore the Brown Palace Hotel and enjoy high tea. But if you can make it during the Christmas season, I highly recommend that. One of the newest places to open here in Denver is called Flightco Tower. It is located in a tower at the old Stapleton Airport location, which is now named Central Park. That entire area has been renamed and redesigned to Central Park. But the Stapleton Airport is where that tower was. But what makes Flightco so special and fun? It's like an adult playground. Watch out, Dave and Buster's. Activities include pinball games, arcade games, an outdoor putt-putt, axe throwing, bowling, and so much more. You could spend an entire day there, have a few drinks, and have a great time. Speaking of having a great time and gathering with friends, another amazing place that's come to Denver recently is called the Game Show Battle Networks. What's really cool about this is you feel like you're on a game show. You get together and you get to play these game shows in a game show studio, just like you would a real game show with your friends. So if you've ever wanted to be on a game show, this is for you. Okay, art and beer. Come on. Let's check out Rhino. Rhino is River North, and it is the arts district. And really not arts in the way that you think of arts, like, hoity-toity, I'm gonna go sip some tea and have some art time, right? This is street art. This is where urban and art come together. You just stroll down the streets and you see these beautiful murals that have been painted along the walls. But what's more is you can just stroll through these streets of Rhino, pop into many different restaurants, many different bars, see the art, enjoy an afternoon out. Some of my absolute favorite places is Barcelona Wine Bar. Do you want to have some fun? Check out Bierstadt. Bierstadt is a brewery, but also with a twist. This is also an indoor adults playground. They have life-size games with beanbags. So cornhole with beanbags, with boards larger than you. They have beer pong in these huge barrel trash cans that you're throwing big balls to try to get in there. Again, talk about an adult's playground, right? I do feel like we spend a little bit more time in Rhino than most other districts. Lehigh and Rhino are pretty much our favorite areas. But you know what you like. So another one down in that area is Bigsby's Folly, which is a wine bar. Kind of fun. They do different events, wine tastings. Bigsby is a dog, and so it's named after a dog. And in my other videos, we talk about how our city's culture is very heavily driven by dogs. Another fun one is First Draft, where you have your beer stein and a little credit card type thing, and you tap what beer you want to taste and you get charged per ounce. And so that's down there in Rhino as well. A couple of the urban food halls that I discussed earlier are in Rhino. If you like whiskey and history, well then you must check out Death & Co. Death & Co. is a swanky little bar at the bottom of the Rambler Hotel. Pre-prohibition drinks, very, very themed cocktail drinks. It really is kind of a fun place to saunter into as well. Across the street is a little pizza place that makes great pizza. So go get some pizza, go have some drinks. And then lastly in this area, do you like jazz? If you like jazz music, there's a club down there called Nocturne. And they have jazz music most nights of the week. It's a bar, restaurant, and live music. So there's some really great places to go in Rhino. Another place to waste a Sunday afternoon, if you have nothing better to do or closets to clean out, you can go to Sobo. I will tell you I never call it Sobo, but some people do. It's South Broadway. So this area is also just filled with restaurants, bars, shops. South Broadway used to be really the antiques district where a lot of the antique shops are, and you can still find them down there, but quite often it is more food and beverage driven at this point. One year, my husband and I, we get these little booklets, and the books are like passports to like different places. And so this one was buy one, get one free drinks. And we just spent the afternoon in South Broadway because there were so many of these little restaurants. We found our very favorite brewery there. Our favorite brewery, don't tell anyone because we love to go on a Sunday afternoon and play games, is Bandit Oak. They have just the best beer. And I'm not like a beer connoisseur. I'm more of a wine girl, but I do love their beer. We also like to go down there and have brunch at Historians, especially in the summer. You can go to the rooftop. If you can't climb stairs, don't go.
Stairs.
Because there's no other way to get up there and there's no other way to get down, and it's a lot of stairs. And there's no restroom upstairs. So if you're upstairs having some mimosas and you got to go all the way back down the stairs. Another great brunch place down there is called The Hornet. They have a make your own Bloody Mary bar. If you're a wine lover, there's Postino Wine Cafe, so you can get tapas and wine. And if you're a whiskey lover, there's Law's Whiskey House down there too. Cider, Colorado Cider Company's down there. So see what I'm saying is you can go down to South Broadway and there's something for everybody. So if you're a group of people and people like different things, you can go down there and try different things. There's also Punch Bowl Social, which is another adult playground with all kinds of inside games. That one's a little bit older. So, there's like a little bowling, there's ping pong, there's all kinds of stuff down there too. Across the street from Bandit Oak is an axe throwing place. So you can go down there, have a beer, go throw some axes, go play bowling at Punch Bowl Social. There's a lot to do down on South Broadway. A couple more things. Front Range has no shortage of water parks. Now granted, Waterworld is the largest outdoor water park in the country, but if you don't want to be, if you don't want to be walking over 70 acres and 50 attractions and slides and all the people that go, then there are a couple other little ones that are just as fun. Well, maybe not just as fun, but they're fun nonetheless. We have Pirates Cove in Littleton. Remember I talked about that Bellevue Park? So Pirates Cove is up on top and then Bellevue Park's down on bottom. So you could even go to the park and then go to the water cove. Oasis in Brighton, so that's a little bit further northeast. It's a cute little place. There's also one called Paradise Cove in Commerce City. That's a really nice one too. Very clean, very well maintained. And then there's the Splash at Fossil Trace, which I've never been to that one. So all kinds of things to do. Denver is also no shortage of festivals and concerts. We have Comedy Works, we have DCPA, which is the Denver Center for Performing Arts, where we have Broadway shows come through here. It was quite interesting. I've seen Wicked a couple times. I saw Hamilton a couple times. I saw Hamilton in San Francisco, and then I saw it here, and I was like, these are the same people. So it is really, truly the Broadway tour, and it's phenomenal. The theater is phenomenal. It's a beautiful venue. We have farmers markets. We have the Taste of Denver on Labor Day weekend. You'll never run out of things to do. There's no shortage of breweries or tap rooms. There's no shortage of whiskey or wine. We have Red Rocks for concerts. We have Fiddler's Green. We have parks and trails if you just want to get out for a free afternoon. But my goal here was to really share some of the less commonly known and just some places maybe to think about or try out. What really got me to do this was I was thinking, like, what really is special about Denver? When I wanted to reinvigorate my channel and help my viewers kind of understand what it looks like to move to Denver, I thought to myself, is Denver really special? And then I started thinking, and I'm like, you know what it is? It is special, and there are so many places to explore and so much to do, indoors, outdoors, some of both at the same day. But if you're thinking about moving here to the Denver, Colorado area, please reach out. I do love helping my clients, especially coming across country. I specialize in that. So I would love to hear from you. You can call, text, or email. Here's my information. But until then, I'll see you next time.